I'm your host, Syrian Mohammed Rafi, and here is your YouTube channel, The Made Universal. The fall of Syria and end of 50 years of, Hafiz dynasty with his son. When the father died, being a member of the Baath Party and a communist, and belonging to Alawite, would constitute nearly 12 to 15% of the total population, while the remaining 70% is the Sunni population, and the other 20% are Christians, Jews, Druze, and other sects. Now, it's a sad story, and it's not going to be a very smooth one country, one state with one prime minister and, normal democratic elections, and then just like you have in other countries. But it's a feudal lord system with tribal society, and there'll be at least 50 people or 50 tribes who would like to have a share in this booty. Even this opposition, which has captured this in the record 10 days and taken over the is a very strange for many people. But this opposition is not just one single party or single sect. It actually has small, nearly 30 to 45 small groups. Each one of those groups would like to have its own share. So it's going to be very troubled waters. And Syria is the one is going to disturb the whole Middle East.
هذا النصر يا اخواني الحمد لله جديد للامه الاسلاميه باكملها. هذا النصر يا اخواني تاريخ جديد للمنطقه. كم تلافينا من مخاطر. ترك سوريا تركها مزرعه للاطماع الايرانيه. هذا النصر يا اخواني الحمد لله جديد للامه الاسلاميه باكملها. هذا النصر يا اخواني تاريخ جديد للمنطقه. كم تلافينا من مخاطر. ترك سوريا تركها مزرعه للاطماع الايرانيه. اثار فيها الفساد. اصبحت عن للكبتاجون في العالم. هذا النصر يا اخواني بفضل الله عز وجل، ثم بدماء الشهداء وبالأرامل وباليتامى. هذا النصر يا اخواني بعذابات الناس الذين قبعوا في السجون.
Before this war, Syria had the biggest population of Christians in the entire Middle East, and those Christians enjoyed full citizenship, unlike they do in Israel. Syria, before 2011, was a modern country with a thriving culture, a good economy. But all of that changed when it was marked for destruction because its leader, Bashar al-Assad, wouldn't grovel to Israel. Wouldn't let the international Rothschild-run banking cartel gut his nation. And so they decided to take him out. Just like Saddam Hussein. Just like Muammar Gaddafi. And now Assad is the last one standing until you get to Iran. This isn't happening organically. It never has. This is being directed by Israelis and their bitches in the United States government. They created ISIS, just like they created Al-Qaeda, just like they created Hamas. They founded these terror networks. They trained these terror networks, and they weaponized them against the world, especially against the Middle East, where they've killed millions of people and used them as an excuse to wage war. In fact, they're so committed to this that for 20 years, they sent American soldiers, young men, to be picked off by these disgusting terrorists while refusing to let them do what they needed to do to win, just so they could pretend that they were on the opposite side. Just so the public wouldn't notice that Israel and the United States were behind the entire thing and were using these people and these terror networks that they established as a pretext for the Israeli conquest of the Middle East, because that's what this is all about. It's about turning the Middle East, the Islamic world, to fire so that Israel can steamroll everything and establish their Jewish Talmudic empire of Greater Israel, which includes almost all of Syria, specifically the region that they're fighting in right now. I was called an anti-Semitic conspiracy theorist for suggesting that the Greater Israel Project actually exists. They wear the patch of the map of Greater Israel on their fucking arms. This has been in the works for a very long time, and it's important to remember that in America, not just one party, not just one president, not just one side of the fake political aisle has brought this on. It's all of them. It's the entire United States government, because they're all owned by the same war-happy, bloodthirsty Jews. It was Reagan who gave millions of dollars to the Taliban. It was George H.W. Bush who went to war with Saddam Hussein. The first time around, it was Bill Clinton who starved 500,000 Iraqi children to death with sanctions and no-fly zones. And of course, we all know that it was George W. Bush who oversaw this side of the 9/11 Mossad operation on 9/11 that killed nearly 3,000 Americans. He sent America to Afghanistan. He sent America back to Iraq. When Obama was in office, he started the Syrian civil war. He founded ISIS with Benjamin Netanyahu. When Trump was in office for the first time, he bombed Syria and Syrian troops who were fighting the terrorists, and he did it more than once. He even bombed Russians in Syria because they were helping Bashar al-Assad fight ISIS. American troops, young American men, under Obama, under Trump, and under Biden, have been sent to Syria. They have been killed. They have been tasked with helping select factions of these rebel groups to fight their war. The United States would love to pretend that we're fighting some kind of righteous war on terrorism, but in reality, we're the ones creating the terrorism.
In law, I think the case is very clear. The United States has provided over $22 billion in arms to Israel since the beginning of the war in October 2023. The United States has also provided diplomatic shield to Israel, particularly at the Security Council. Israel would not have been able to continue the war for one single day had the United States stopped all of its arms supplies to Israel and all of its financing to Israel. So the United States bears an extraordinary amount of responsibility. And as you said, Article 3 of the 1948 Genocide Convention deems complicity in genocide to be as serious as committing genocide. The question is there political will to bring an action against the United States, presumably at the International Court of Justice?
Now, it's just like throwing a stone into the still water of the ocean, and you can see that the ocean rises at many places and spills over. And that's what's going to happen. Those who are now rejoicing, like Netanyahu, the evil, the war criminal, the one of the filthiest, the dirtiest, and the cruelest person on earth, is with along with his finance minister and the interior one, the both are the devils, the one who want to annex every inch of Palestine. They will be dying dog's death and will get nothing. Although they have crossed into the Golan Heights and with their ambition trying to hit, but they've been beaten like a dog out of Lebanon. And until now, although they have leveled almost all of Gaza, now still they have people who kill them. And that Hamas will continue, and so would be Hezbollah. And they are living in a fool's paradise, thinking that they have broken the axis. This rejoicing will be that as soon as the opposition, they turn their faces and they take a U-turn, the next they will like to destroy is they take over their Golan Heights back and they go and annex. And this is what the Turkish and the Russian want, and those who they agreed in Qatar is the smooth transition is that now they will have a uniform front, and with that, the jet which Turkey has, which is much superior than F-30, and cannot be detected by radar system, then you can see for yourself that what is going to happen. So that is the end of Israel, is the end of this illegitimate and illegal state, the cruelest state. So this rejoicing, although it will upset the whole of Middle East, will be a great setback for Iran and Russia, and especially the BRICS. It will also be a great, I think, danger. And obviously Israel deserves that. Netanyahu deserves that because they funded these organizations. And in my clipping, I'll prove that they have almost all what has happened recently. They are the people who funded and they were behind both Mossad, CIA, and these people were after 9/11, and they were after the creation of ISS, and they were after this, this group as well, which they've been, for regime change, they were using them. Now, this is the end of these people, and soon you will see this.
यूनिवर्सल टेलीविजन को सब्सक्राइब करना ना भूलें, उसके बाद बेल बटन पे क्लिक करें और अपने कमेंट्स के सेक्शन में अपने कीमती जो ख्यालात का इजहार ज़रूर